In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate, I am Ali ibn Abbas al-Majusi, known in your Latin books as Abbas. I was born in the 10th century, in the lands of Awaz and Shiraz, when the world of knowledge was blossoming under the brilliant rule of the Umayyad dynasty. Mine was an age where physicians, mathematicians, and astronomers walked hand in hand, and where the thirst for knowledge was a fire that warmed every enlightened ear. From a young age, I was captivated by two things: the frailty of the human body and the extraordinary wisdom hidden within it. I watched people fall to disease, not because cures were unknown, but because knowledge was fragmented, scattered, incomplete. I promised myself, I will gather the science of medicine into a single, perfect book. And so my journey began. I traveled through Shiraz, the city of gardens, conversing with sages, physicians, and philosophers. I studied under men who themselves were beacons of knowledge, yet I felt something missing. Medicine lacked a comprehensive, logical structure. It needed order, clarity, and a unified system. So, drawing from the Greeks, from Persian knowledge, from the wisdom of India, and from the rigorous observations of my own practice, I began crafting what would become the crown of my life, the complete book of the medical art, Al-Kamil as-Sine at-Tabiyya, the magnum opus that changed medicine forever. When I finished this work, I felt as though I had built a palace, each chapter a chamber, each idea a carved column, each insight a shining lamp, glowing star. This book is what made me who I am. Let me tell you, in my own words, what revolutionary ideas I placed within it. I reconstructed the entire foundation of medical science before my time. Medical writings were scattered and disorganized. I built a new structure, a detailed overview of human anatomy, a full guide to physiology, explanations of health, disease, and treatment principles, complete understanding of the causes and mechanisms of illness. I did not simply copy Galen or Hippocrates. I corrected them and expanded their knowledge with my own observations. Point 2. I defined the true goal of medicine. I wrote, the goal of medicine is not merely to cure disease, but to preserve health. For health is the natural state, and disease the intrusion. This idea influenced physicians for centuries. Point 3. I gave the world the earliest systematic description of the nervous system. My detailed record of the brain and its divisions, the spinal cord, the nerves, and their functions was among the most advanced of my era. I recognized early that damage to specific nerves produced specific losses of function, ideas that would later become the basis of neurology. Point 4. I provided one of history's clearest accounts of the pulse. Where earlier physicians described pulse vaguely, I transformed it into a science. Rhythm, strength, speed, hardness, expansion, and contraction. I explained how each variation signifies a different inner condition of the human body. Point 5. I described advanced surgical techniques including tumor excision, fracture reduction, wound management, and suturing, treatment of burns with specialized ointments. I emphasized that a surgeon must possess steady hands and a pure heart. Point 6. I was among the first to clearly explain the psychology body connection. I demonstrated that emotions, anger, fear, sadness, have measurable effects on heart rate, digestion, immune strength, a concept rediscovered in modern medicine centuries later. Point 7. I introduced a balanced, scientific approach to treatment. My system of treatment included diet and lifestyle correction, medication based on precise properties, surgery when required, mental well-being as a central factor in recovery. I insisted that medicine must be grounded in reason and observation, not superstition. My book, the complete book of the medical art, did not end its journey in my hands. It traveled across the world, translated into Latin, used in European medical schools for centuries preceding even Avicenna's canon, in completeness serving as the foundation for professional medical ethics and education in Europe. Scholars called me the Prince of Physicians before Avicenna. Even today, medical historians consider my work one of the most systematic medical encyclopedias ever written before modern times. If I could speak across the centuries to your YouTube audience, I would say, search not only for cures, but for understanding. Treat not only the body, but the soul. And let the flame of knowledge be carried with humility, for arrogance is the enemy of wisdom. I am Ali ibn Abbas al-Majusi, and this is the legacy I leave for the healers of today and the physicians of tomorrow.